What's wrong, Mamie?
We've never been apart this long.
He's just going to see his cousins. It's not a bad thing for him to know where he come from.
Well, Chicago is all he needs to know. I don't want him seeing himself the way those people are seen down there.
Those people like me?
Even you left Mississippi, Mama.
Mamie, Bo is growing up. You're gonna have to let him go. All right, I know that face. That is the face of Mama. Mind your business and go home. Where's my pocketbook?
Mm-hmm, right here.
Oh, there it is. You need to get you some rest, too. Come on, baby.
I'll call you tomorrow.
All right. I am Emmett's grandmother, which is a role I'm very used to playing. And she is the mother of Mamie, who says to Mamie, you know, you have to let him go be him. You have to let him go down south and see his family. And that's something that she felt very responsible about, because she felt if she hadn't said, listen, let him go, that it wouldn't have happened. But, you know, I like to feel that her heart was in the right place, you know, and I hope that she didn't torture herself too much about this, because, yes, she said, as we all would have said, listen, let him go see his family. Who anticipates this? No one. It's been a long, hard-fought process trying to get this movie made. People would say, well, you know, everybody knows the story. We'd say, no, everybody doesn't know the story. They'd say, well, you know, there's nobody in Europe's going to go see this. And I always say, well, all of my movies are very popular in Europe, so I know people go see movies with black people in them. What is the problem? You know, and, you know, people were afraid, I guess. And then when everything went down with George Floyd and the entire nation got up and said, you know what, this is really starting to agitate us and we don't like it. People started to say, oh, let's tell some black stories. And we were like, hey, we have a story for you.
The story follows a boy, a young black boy, and his mother in the city of Chicago. You see the love that they have and the sort of connection that they have. And he wants to visit his cousins and have a good time, just go on vacation. All he wanted to do was go on vacation. But unfortunately, the place that he was vacationing wasn't so inviting.
In the film, I play Mamie Till, and Mamie Till was the progenitor of the civil rights movement. She made a significant choice for the Black community of 1955 in America. And she made a significant choice for the greater American and global community by having an open casket wake for her son, who was tragically killed, Emmett Till. That choice was significant in that it forced America, it forced the world to witness what was happening to Black people in the South at this time. It forced people to consider their history, to consider Southern history, to consider the manner in which Black people had been treated. And she did so in the midst of a substantial amount of terror before she even made the choice to move to travel rather from Chicago to Mississippi to witness the trial. And so she was a deeply, deeply brilliant and brave woman who challenged America and who challenged the world and the way they see Black people and the way that Black people were taught that were treated at this time. All right, now you're gonna miss your train. Bo, when you get down there...
Oh, not again, Mama. I've already been to Mississippi.
Only one time before, and you started a fight with another little boy.
He was picking on me.
You're in the right to stand up for yourself, but that's not what I'm talking about.
They have a different set of rules for Negroes down there. Are you listening?
Yes.
You have to be extra careful with white people. You can't risk looking at them the wrong way.
I know.
Bo, be small down there.
Like this?
Danielle, I can't even describe her perfection. She is just sublime. Her performance is sublime. You know, it's as good as anything I've ever seen, ever. I mean, she's magnificent.
Danielle Deadwyler is a revelation in this film. Her performance is a breathtaking channeling of who Mamie was. She communicates so much with her eyes. Danielle Deadwyler can hold a screen. She tells such complex emotions and humanities and subtext just without saying a word. And so all of that she brings to this incredible performance. And she literally gives her whole mind, body, and spirit to every take. And so every take was incredible. And so my editor and I had a field day in post.
The historical significance of this movie is like none other. It is the spark, it is the start of change in our community, thanks to Mamie Till and thanks to her inspiration from her son and her love for her son that led her down this path of revolution.
It was an interesting experience because when you live in 2021 and you're trying to get down to 1955, you know, and still be able to step out of it when you need to, because it can become suffocating being in the past that way, because everyone was there. Do you know what I mean? Everyone was present in their roles. So people had to like take a breath. I had to cut up because I can't be quiet when it's that heavy. It's too much for me. So I made noise, I made jokes, you know.
Well, I think about my lived reality as a Black woman in this world, particularly someone who grew up in America. And I think that, you know, for me, my joy is a form of resistance. And even in spite of, or even in the midst of the inherent pain and trauma and anger and frustration that can come with being a Black woman in the world, there's also a lot of joy and love and community and life in my living, in my being. And so I knew that my lived experience and the experience of so many other people who are part of marginalized communities, it's an experience in which all of that can exist alongside each other. So I knew that I really it was important that we begin and end the story in joy, that we make sure that we see those moments of community and love and life and laughter and lightness, because that's also can exist alongside the pain and the sadness. So making sure that there's that balance was critical. And also knowing that this is a story that's essentially kind of a character study of Mamie and her evolution of activist consciousness, that doesn't require showing the physical violence inflicted upon Emmett, because that's not the crucial to her story, you know? And so that also helped inform my decisions about the balance and what to show and what not to show.
History is something that builds the foundation of where we are today. And a lot of that history is now not being taught or not now being shown as much and as often as it should. So for it to be able to make theaters and make screens for the younger generation to see and still learn is something that is so important to us now and the generations to come.
It's a wonder. It's a great film. There's no other way for me to explain it. There's love, there's humor, there's angst, there's agitation, there's horror, there's all of these things that appear in life in this little film about a mother and son.
Instead of your father's ring, how about you wear the cufflinks we got you?
Oh, Mama, I want to wear the ring.
have a really good life in Chicago, but they have a different set of rules down in Mississippi. You have to be extra careful.
I know.
Bo, be small.
Like this?
He's just going to see his cousins. Not a bad thing for him to know where he come from.
Even you left Mississippi, Mama. I don't want him seeing himself the way those people are seen down there.
I want to talk to you about that boy.
They've come for you. Hello?
A breaking news story, the body of Emmett Till has been found dead.
Why did they take my jail from me?
I need to prepare you.
Can you bring Emmett's black suit? It's how he'd like to be seen.
Bo's in no kind of shape to be seen by anyone.
He's in just the right shape.
That smell is my son's body, reeking of racial hatred. Now I want America to bear witness.
Come with me, please. The whole world has to see what happened to my son.
I can't look, baby.
We have to.
You have the public's attention. We have an opportunity.
I don't want my children to have to live in fear. We do the best we can.
How is risking your life gonna help Bo?
Those pictures of your son change people's lives.
1 month ago, I had a nice life in Chicago. I had a son. When something happened to the Negroes in the South, I said, that's their business, not mine. Now I know what happens to any of us, anywhere in the world, had better be the business of us all.